Just about there is connecting all of them. All right, going live now.
Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the baddest radio show in the land. Podcast, I should say, in the land. The We Play Baseball Podcast. I am your host, Rod White. Welcome again. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. There's a lot of guys out here listening. Let me get my stuff over here set up because it shut down on me just a minute ago and I need to go live. Because there were some people saying they wanted to watch it through the watch. So I'm having to set that up every time. So give me 1 second for some reason. Not want to cooperate either. So, ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing, man? I know we still got the music playing in the background. Let me turn it down just a little bit here as we get ready. All right, now it's showing live. All right, we're good. All right. Let me turn that down. So we are good. It was having some malfunctions there. I can share it now, do the watch party. Now everybody can see it. There we go. All right, for all you watchers on the watch party, it is now live. Again, I am your host, Rod White. This is the We Play Baseball Podcast. I can go ahead and just show you everybody that's on here right now. You can see myself, Carl Nichols, Orr Franchuk, and Andrew Toussaint. I don't have my all my tools today, so I'm going to do the hand clap for you guys myself. Okay, guys, there you go. Glad to have you guys on. Carl, how you doing?
I'm great.
You great?
Doing awesome.
Orr, you good?
Under the circumstances.
Under the circumstances,
Yeah,
right?
everything's good.
Everybody
Everything's
good?
good.
Drew, you good?
Good to go.
Good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just give you guys quick background about what we do here on the We Play Baseball Podcast. This is designed to be an information source for parents, players, coaches, all those who want information about baseball, want to know what's going on at the collegiate level. We bring college coaches on. We bring pro guys on, pro scouts. Andrew himself is a pro scout. We bring a lot of guys on to provide you guys with information. So that's basically what we do. And so at this time, I will let the panel of guys on here give you a quick synopsis, background of who they are. That way you guys will know where the information is coming from. And then we'll get into today's 2 very important topics. I think it'll be a great show, guys. Carl, take it away.
Yeah, Carl Nichols, former major minor league catcher, Baltimore Orioles, Houston Astros, drafted in 1980, played 18 years professionally. Been coaching about the last 20 years or so in various capacities, from junior college, a little bit of high school. Worked at the Urban Youth Academy in Compton when it first opened. And I've done a lot of private coaching and tutoring and mentoring of various players throughout the country.
Oh, that was just a little timer going off again.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, sorry. Orf, you're next.
Yep. Orr Franchuk, 28 years in professional baseball as a coach, manager, scout, and the last year or two I've been involved at the college level, and now I just
basically with doing some private stuff, but finally got out of the game, but trying to stay involved with the young kids.
Sounds good. Andrew?
Andrew Tucson. I'm the West Coast supervisor for the New York Mets. Been scouting for the last 8 years. Before that, I was at the Urban Youth Academy with Carl Nichols in Compton. Did that for about 6 years. I played 5 years in the Angels organization, parts of 2 years in Japan. And I went to college at Southern University where I was drafted out up there. So that's
Right.
me.
That's you. Again, I'm Rod White, serving as your host. I am the associate head coach at Texas College. Spent a few years scouting, associate scouting work with the Red Sox and the Phillies. Was served as an assistant coach at Alabama State. Prior to that, I was in independent ball for several years as a general manager, as an assistant GM, as a coach, whatever you can think of. I believe I've done it all. Marketing director, all those roles I've played at that level. So go ahead and we'll get into today's kind of subject, guys. It is Jackie Robinson Day. And kind of what we wanted to do. Actually, we have two things that we're going to do today. One is the Jackie Robinson Day deal. We're going to kind of discuss that, what it means to us each individually. And I'm going to show a video that somebody actually sent me. Keith Stubbs, who was named as our vice president for the National Scouting Bureau on yesterday, he sent a video that he sent out to several of his students today. And I thought it was it was a documentary, short documentary, that we'll play and see if we can make that work. And you guys tell me if you can actually hear it when we do it. And the second thing today, we will talk about the rollout of the National Scouting Bureau's pipeline platform, which is something we've been working on for a while. And it is now finally at the point where we're ready to reveal it and go forth with having a lot of kids. So we worked very hard to make this work. And that's something we will definitely discuss in detail tonight. Give parents, players, everyone listening a real overview of what it is and what it does and how it would benefit players. So first we'll go ahead and I'll talk about, matter of fact, I need to go back and do this info window because everybody keeps wondering how to send information or ask questions as we're going along throughout the day. Best way to reach us is to text 334-249-2290. That is not my cell number, by the way. That is our office phone, but it does connect any text messages to my phone. So you can text that number, 334-249-2290, and I can ask those questions. We can answer those questions for you. The second way to to reach us is tweet us at WePlayBaseball. Again, tweet us at WePlayBaseball. Again, the number to text is 334-249-2290, and tweet us at WePlayBaseball. So at this time, I'm going to do some behind-the-scenes work here, guys, and migrate this video over to the other screen here so I can actually play it and kind of go from there on it. I got to do some stuff. It takes a little bit of work to do this. All right, minimize that. Move us out of the way. Move the YouTube screen over. Blow it up. And match play.
On April 15, 1947, Jackie Robinson shocked America and the world when he broke the color barrier, becoming the first African American to play Major League Baseball. However, his revolutionary impact did not stop there. Jackie's baseball career led to the desegregating of other professional sports and served as a catalyst for social and political changes for African Americans in society. Jackie was never satisfied, and his passion and dedication to equality continued long after his final days of baseball. The Jackie Robinson Revolution is more notable for its impact on society than its impact on baseball. Jackie's childhood was difficult and frustrating. 6 months after his birth, his father abandoned the family. I could only think of him with bitterness, remembered Jackie of his father. As with many African American families at the time, racism weighed heavily on Jackie and his family. Pasadena was as prejudiced as any town in the South, Jackie's brother claimed. They let us in all right, but they wouldn't let us live. While the opportunity for retaliation and frustration loomed large, Jackie escaped these feelings. Jackie's precociousness as an athlete undoubtedly helped him to negotiate the traps of racism early in his life. Jackie Robinson excelled at 4 sports as a young man: baseball, football, basketball, and track. He became the first athlete to letter in 4 sports at UCLA. Jackie only spent 2 years at UCLA before he decided to leave. "I was convinced that no amount of education would help a black man get a job," Jackie said. Shortly after leaving college, Jackie was drafted into the Army in 1942. While posted first to Fort Riley, Kansas, Jack found the most emotionally wrenching aspect of Army life was attempting to gain the most basic accommodations for black men. Even before he held the power of a famous athlete, Jackie showed a passion for equality. On July 6, 1944, Jackie was court-martialed for sitting in the front of a bus, even though he had every legal right to do so. He was found not guilty, but the racial injustice of this experience caused frustration with the Army and led him on a different path. After receiving an honorable discharge from the Army, Jackie stumbled upon a job playing baseball with the Kansas City Monarchs of the Negro National League. Even after a few years off from baseball, Jackie's athleticism and talent were evident upon his return. After all, he was a fiercely competitive athlete, whose drive for excellence was matched only by the rage for equality that burned in his heart. Jackie had tremendous success for the Monarchs, but the lifestyle left him itching to get out of the league. Finding satisfactory or even passable eating places was almost a daily problem, Jackie noted. Some of the crummy eating joints would not serve us at all. Soon enough, though, the general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Branch Rickey, would take the chance that Jackie had dreamt about. Branch Rickey had 3 primary reasons for promoting Jackie Robinson to the Brooklyn Dodgers: showing up his opponents, economic prosperity, and fame. While the promotion was no surprise to many within the organization, a local news reporter predicted that Robinson's path in the immediate future may not be too smooth. Jackie easily transitioned to the talent of the major leagues, batting .395 over a 10-game stretch on his first major road trip through hostile environments. In fact, Robinson was often tested more by the racism and hostility of fans on road trips than he was on the baseball field. Death threats and racist chants became common, especially during trips to the South. The Travelers, a racist group from Cincinnati, sent Jackie a note that read, "Robinson, we are going to kill you if you attempt to enter a ball game at Crosley Field." Cincinnati was an especially difficult place for Jackie to play. The stadium attracted fans from racially charged border states like Kentucky and West Virginia. Jackie even took abuse from opposing managers, like Alabama-born Ben Chapman of the Philadelphia Phillies. Amidst all of this chaos, Robinson kept a cool head and did not retaliate, and his baseball game never wavered. Jackie finished the year on a strong note, winning the Rookie of the Year award. Jackie considers his official acceptance into the Major League to be his first World Series appearance in 1947, the first of any African-American player. "I had become the first black player in the major leagues," Jackie recalls. By this point, Jackie's revolution in baseball was complete. He paved the way for Willie Mays, Henry Aaron, Maury Wells, and Elson Howard, and others in a new line of African-American baseball stars. Jackie's prowess in baseball not only changed his sport, but other sports as well. When Branch Rickey hired Robinson, he opened up the Dodgers to an entirely new fan base, African Americans. Because Jackie dominated in the major leagues, African Americans saw him a hero and flocked to games. Wendell Smith, an African American sports writer, noted in the Pittsburgh Courier, "Jackie's nimble, Jackie's quick, Jackie's making the turnstiles click." Thanks to Jackie and his African American fans, in 1947, the Brooklyn Club had its highest attendance rate ever, with 1.8 million fans. Owners of other professional sports teams realized the amount of money to be made by investing in African American athletes, and before long, the National Basketball Association and National Football League teams were signing African Americans. In 1950, the New York Knicks signed Nat Clifton, the first black man to play in the NBA. Many years later, in the New York Times obituary for Robinson, the legendary Boston Celtics center Bill Russell credited his career to Jackie's accomplishments. Jack was the trailblazer, and we are all deeply grateful. We say, thank you, Jackie. It was a job well done. The Jackie Robinson Revolution also helped break down racial barriers in white America. The majority of the newly hired African Americans following Robinson were sent down to the minor leagues. Thus, black players were spread across the country, and as Ronald Story writes, desegregation thus came, almost overnight, to small cities and towns in the West and Northeast, where the reception of black players was relatively positive, and to the Midwest, where the record was mixed. Back in Brooklyn, white fans began to respect Jackie's ability. Respect for ability and the thirst to win dominated fan reaction. Baseball generates team spirit and attracts hordes of intense partisans who perceive their favorite team as somehow representing them personally in the competition. Rooting for a team means identifying with and acclaiming the exploits of every batter, Story writes. White fans, initially tentative, had to support Jackie because he helped the team win and took them to the World Series in 1947. Jackie, stealing home 11 times in his career, was a dynamic player who attracted a lot of attention with his speed. White fans became proud of their passionate, speedy second baseman. A black man had become the revered hero of whites. In 1948, an opinion poll named Robinson as, next to Bing Crosby, the most popular man in America. Jackie forced whites to rethink their positions on race relations, and that was one of his biggest impacts on society. For example, Red Barber, the announcer of Dodgers games in Brooklyn, was a man who, at the time, did not easily accept the desegregation of baseball. It tortured me, he remembers. I set out to do a deep self-examination. I attempted to find out who I was. I knew that if I had achieved any understanding and tolerance in my life, if I had been able to follow a little better the second great commandment, which is to love thy neighbor, it all stems from this. I thank Jackie Robinson. He did far more for me than I did for him. Even after his years in baseball, Jackie continued to use his fame to fight for equality and serve society as a whole. He established the Jackie Robinson Construction Company to build housing for families with low and moderate incomes. The corporation eventually built 1,300 units of low and moderate income housing in Yonkers, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. The goal of Jackie's business was clear: to serve the poor community that had supported him throughout his career. He also joined a group of investors and community activists to bring the first black-run bank to Harlem in New York City. They felt that a minority-owned and operated bank was the only way to help rebuild Harlem's predominantly black community. The fight for equality was Jackie's primary concern at this time and throughout the remainder of his life. Jackie became the chairman of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People's Freedom Fund drive. He helped to raise $1 million that would be used to secure first-class citizenship for all American citizens. When he was not traveling to secure funds for the NAACP, Jackie held fundraisers at his own house. Jackie's daughter Sharon remembers, "We hosted the first of many jazz concerts at our home to raise money for the Civil Rights Movement. The 1963 concert was a fundraiser for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s organization." Jackie also used his fame and social standing to his advantage by writing to the President of the United States as a representative for the African American people. He would write about his concerns over civil rights and the American promise of equal opportunity for all. Jackie came to symbolize the new American Negro who would wait no longer to receive his civil rights. In a letter to the Eisenhower administration, Jackie even demanded that the president veto a civil rights bill because it was not good enough, reminiscent of his never-satisfied mentality. Jackie's death in 1972 led to a series of reactions that helped to define the significance of his achievements. At his funeral, Reverend Jesse Jackson claimed that no grave can hold this body down. It belongs to the ages, and all of us are better off because the temple of God, the man with convictions, the man with a mission, passed this way. Jackie's significance from a social and political perspective is immeasurable. His actions not only revolutionized sports, but even more so revolutionized American culture. Jackie Robinson is preeminently a social phenomenon who happened to appear within a baseball setting.
Well, there you have it. That was the entire video in its entirety. And now it's trying to play another video and I'm trying to stop it. So there we go. That's the easy way to do that. So guys, let's have a discussion here. I'm going to swap back to our screen here, get us back in place so I can see you guys because I can't see you right now. There we are. Now everybody will be able to see you guys as well. Blow this back up here. All right. So let's have a little brief discussion here about this. Thoughts? Who wants to go first? What does Jackie Robinson Day mean to you?
Well, for me, it just, baseball is all I've ever known. And for him, especially since I was fortunate enough to play at the pro level, and, they talk about some of the stuff that he had to go through. I mean, just playing the minor leagues is tough, period, regardless of the other stuff. And, I experienced a little bit of, not on his level, but just a little bit of discrimination and racism and all that when I played. But, at least during my era, if it happened, I had resources or places I could go to get it resolved. So I couldn't imagine what he had to go through, and he just had to keep everything inside and not retaliate in any kind of way.
Right.
So for me, there's a great appreciation for him going through all that, just so that I would just have an opportunity to do what I do and do what I've done. So I'm not going to forget as long as I live. Like I said, being able to play pro ball and not just pro ball, but just life, period. Not having to deal with some of the stuff that he dealt with, what my parents had to deal with, and he was directly responsible for me not having to deal with some of the stuff that they've had to deal with.
Right. Who's next there? Who wants to go next? I'm gonna try to go last. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just piggybacking on Carl. I mean, basically, in a broad sense, he opened the door for black players to play this game, and it's a long. It's been he took a long step, and we've gotten a long ways since he entered Major League Baseball. And it's interesting to see how long we still have to go. Like he opened the door for a lot of players to get into the league. We've seen those numbers kind of dwindle off, and at every level of the game for African Americans, especially, it'll be interesting to see how we get the numbers back up and get African Americans back interested in baseball again.
Get them interested in the game.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah. Get them interested in the game again. Orf?
Yeah. My last year with the Dodgers, the organization made it mandatory. We had a movie night, and all players in the organization had to didn't have to. It didn't make it mandatory, but just about everybody was there. Go see the Jackie Robinson story movie, and I think that it really opened a lot of eyes, in every race. But unfortunately, it took that long up until 1947 for things to happen at the big league level. But all of the little stories, and I'm sure you've all seen the movie, but it was really meaningful to a lot of the players, and it opened up a lot of eyes for a lot of players.
Right. So we had some technical difficulties right there, guys, in the midst of this, but I'm redoing everything on the Facebook. So, but I guess I'll take it from, a standpoint that I've always talked about it. I thought it was fitting to show the video today. Or I don't think everybody got to see it because Facebook kind of cuts it off, so the YouTube subscribers were able to see it, but not the Facebook individuals on there. I was told that they could actually hear it, but they couldn't see it, which is fine. It'll be on the YouTube version of this anyway. From my standpoint, I always say that Jackie's my hero. I wear 42. I mean, I wear it religiously. It's every jersey that I've worn since pretty much Little League. Okay, I've always worn it because it was a simple fact to me. And once I was able to become old enough to do my own research and to see some of the things that he actually had to go through, one of the major factors that I tell guys, I say, he's my hero because he did something that nobody else had done, right? And the fact that he was able to, well, let's back up. Baseball, and let's just be honest with you, back in that time was looked at and thought upon as the quote-unquote white man's game, right? I mean, that's kind of what everybody was saying. When Jackie crossed that barrier, crossed that line, to me it said that, not only can white guys play this game at a high level, but black guys can too. And it wasn't just for white individuals anymore, right? So for me, him crossing that barrier created and opened up doors. And the video, reason I like the video, the documentary so much is that it opened up doors in other sports, in business, in banking, in insurance, and all these other avenues where now it was the catalyst of creating equality. So that's the type of person I am. I believe, and just like I can't remember the coach who actually said it, the manager at the time who was giving Jackie pure hell basically. He said later on that, oh no, it was the commentator, it was the radio host who said basically, if I lived by the golden rule, do unto others as you have them do unto you, I would feel much better about myself. So that's kind of how I am. I believe in making sure people are treated right across the scale. I don't care about your color. I don't care about you. I don't care if you're, in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, I don't care about you being white, black, Jew, Gentile, Protestant, or Catholic. What I care about is how you treat people. And so today, for me, it's always a major day for Jackie Robinson Day because it allows us to take a moment, reminisce from what from my generation, what we learned about. For some of those older, my parents or my grandparents who, my grandmother's 99 and she actually got to see, when Jackie, broke in and where they talk about it, the newspaper articles and all these things came about. Then, to listen to them talk, especially when my granddad used to talk about it, it's a tremendous deal for me. This day is very important because now all of us guys are in baseball and this affected us in some form or fashion. So that's my take on it. Anybody want to take the floor on it?
It was well said.
Thank you.
Covered everything.
I try. But yeah, so, well, if anybody else has anything on Jackie Robinson Day, any memories, I know, or if you talked about having to go to the movies, or not having to go, but being asked to go to the movies as part of the, during that period of time, during that day. Anybody else have any stories, club-wise, what transpired?
I know Drew and I played at Jackie Robinson Stadium, so we played our Connie Mack in Compton, which was named after him.
Okay.
We grew up in Compton, and Pasadena is not too far away, even though growing up it seemed like it was 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Until we got older.
Yeah.
But because we always, at least for me, growing up, I always thought of Pasadena as this glitzy area, and didn't realize that they had a high black population even back then, where he grew up. And we played Connie Mack at Jackie Robinson Stadium, and then there's what's the name of that park in Pasadena? Jackie Robinson Field, named after him, where Jackie played growing up. I can't remember the name of the park, but
right.
So the name Jackie Robinson, has been in my mind forever. My brother played at Jackie Robinson Stadium, my older brother.
Right.
And then, guys before him played, I think it was named, they changed the name in 58, I think it was, or somewhere around it. It used to be called Cressy Park.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's, Jackie's a big deal, and has always been a big deal in Compton, or where I grew up, where we grew up.
Right.
Yeah, Carl's older than me, so just seeing that different. When I first met Carl in 2006, working at the academy, we found, I started talking about, because he went to Compton High, I went to Centennial High, both schools in Compton,
Right.
and being that in LA if you're black and playing baseball, you kind of know all the same people, and just us telling the stories, because the guy who was my high school coach, Coach Carl, when he was coming up too, so finding out that we know the same people and stuff like that, so yeah, playing at Jackie Robinson Stadium at Compton, I mean, that was huge. You hear about all the guys that Carl probably played with, a lot of these guys, or he know all the stories of the tradition of all these big leaguers that played there. And then me as a scout, every year I'm reminded about Jackie Robinson, not only because Jackie Robinson Day at in the big leagues, but every time I go to UCLA to scout at the game, it's a big statue memorial of Jackie Robinson as soon as you walk up the stairs. So it's something that's constantly on your mind, throughout, pretty much every year when you're playing baseball.
Yep. Bear with me. We had a little bit of a malfunction here. Everybody could hear you. It was just my screen's somehow cut off. I don't know if I got a ghost in here today or not. Jackie, is that you? So anyway, so that kind of, let me just go ahead and give the numbers again, that way if anybody has it. Again, the number is 334-249-2290 if you want to text, ask us a question, any thoughts that you may have. I do see people are responding on the, hey, Scott Garber, good to see you, man. Hey, Darryl Roberts, good, man. Hey, everything's going well. How you doing? And if you want to tweet us, tweet a question to us, tweet us at WePlayBaseball. Just tweet at WePlayBaseball. So you should be able to see the screen here. 334-249-2290 is the number to text the question. And you can tweet us at WePlayBaseball. So, I'm going to show the Jackie Robinson screen one more time. We salute you, sir. We appreciate you, everything that you have done. And that kind of, I guess, segues into the second phase of what we were talking about. Now, I did not, for the record, I did not plan this. I did not. I've been so confined that I really didn't realize what day it was, okay? I think Marvin or somebody late last night, it was after midnight, I was still up, sitting here doing work or whatever, and somebody posted it, Jackie Robinson. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. We're getting ready to roll this out on Jackie Robinson Day, and I didn't plan this. So all I'm saying is there is some divineness going on behind this. That's all I'm going to say about that. That was not my plan. That was God. Darryl says, Carl has amazing stories. Hopefully we get to hear some of them. Darryl, yes, we have Carl tell stories all the time. So I'm pretty sure by the end of the night, everybody's going to get tired of me talking. I'm going to have him tell another one. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to kind of just segue into this. I'm going to do some manipulation again behind the screen here. I'll show Jackie there again. I'm going to try to see if I can move this stuff over. And that way we can get started and kind of give you a complete overview of what we've been working on so you'll understand it. Move us out of the way. Take this over there. And hopefully we can blow this up where, I don't know if I can. Down at the bottom. There, no, wrong one. There we go. So, I'm going to somehow, hopefully you can see this on the screen once I click here. And let me know if you can, guys. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's his nice slide. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I did a little bit of work on that myself. Thank you very much. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to take some of the other stuff off the background so you can actually see the full screen here. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see here. Full background. All right, so take the rest of this off. There we go. All right. I thought I had it right. I messed it up again. Take that off. Take that off. And that off. No, leave that. Take that off. There we go. Can you guys see it now?
No.
No? So,
No.
yeah, about that. Here we go. Let me do the... That way you guys can see it too. I forgot about you all. So you can see it now? Got it now.
Yeah,
All right.
see it now. Yeah.
All right.
Now. Yeah.
So I'm looking at it and it's kind of quite strange for me how I'm looking at this. So just bear with me. So if I get to looking all around, it's because I'm trying to figure out if I'm talking to y'all or if I'm talking about the show or the slides or whatever. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to talk about the National Scouting Bureau's platform. I really like your logo. Oh, thank you, Darryl. So again, we started the National Scouting Bureau out as a showcase, the player development type organization. And we kind of looked like, I guess everybody said, well, what's the difference between what you do and what everybody else does? We never set out to be that. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. We never set out to just be that. It was more so about providing complete player development. Since that time, we've evolved, and we've evolved heavily. And I'm going to show you today basically what all we've evolved into and show you that the membership platform creates an opportunity for all players from 8 years old to 18 years old to be involved in what we do, okay, at a very, very, very affordable price. One of my major problems is, and I'm not going to call it a name, but there's showcase organizations that are out there that are charging players, $1,000, $2,500 just to show up for this showcase. I don't see, in my opinion, and I guess in the opinion of all of us, because we know it has alienated a lot of kids, I don't see why somebody has to pay $2,500 to come to a showcase, okay? So what we tried to do was create this model, a holistic model, a 360-degree model that allowed players to become a part of this without having to pay all of these exorbitant fees and price them and their parents out of baseball. Because it really, I told somebody today in a conference call. I was on the call with Scott Garber today. I was on the phone with Mitch. All those are part of the Noodleberg huddle, and we did a lot of interactive stuff today with each other, trying to just sorting out and networking with each other. And I made the comment today that baseball has become an elitist sport, okay? Meaning that it's costing players out of the game. It's alienating a lot of players. Black, white, Jew, Gentile, Protestant, Catholic, don't really care. It's alienating a lot of players out, all right? And I will say this, since I do say that, a lot of black players are turning away from the game. Same thing that Jackie Robinson created, the avenue that Jackie Robinson created. They're turning away from the game, and they're migrating to much cheaper sports. Basketball, which is pretty much run by AAU, really doesn't cost the kids anything. They get to go play. Football, 7-on-7. They have the 7-on-7 camps every week, right here in Alabama. So it makes it easier for those kids to move from the game of baseball to those sports. And one of the things that we wanted to do was be able to make this and put it on a platform where everybody could participate in the game. So, lo and behold, there it is. These are all the member benefits that a player who becomes a member of the Scouting Bureau, National Scouting Bureau gets. First off, as you can look on the wall behind me, you see all my academic accolades and all this stuff back here, right? All right. Obviously, I'm a big proponent of education. Been a teacher for, 8 years? I'm a big proponent of education. My parents were educators. Mom and dad were both educators. I have 2 sisters who are also educators. So I'm a big proponent of education. I'm not saying you got to come out and be an educator. I'm saying What we want to make sure happens is we give kids access to an education, access to a college scholarship. As a part of this program, number one thing that we've done now is, as a member of the National Scouting Bureau, we give you a guaranteed $4,000 a year scholarship that goes to, or I should say accepted at over 400 colleges and institutions, private colleges and institutions around the country. So you say, well, how are we doing that? We've partnered with an organization that actually built this scholarship platform out, and as a member, you get access to that. So it's 4,000 tuition rewards points, like frequent flyer miles, that are accepted at these colleges and universities. So, for instance, you go to a college, you say, hey, I want to go to Faulkner University here in Alabama. Faulkner is on the list. It's a private institution. You want to go to Faulkner. Faulkner accepts these tuition credits, dollar for dollar. Okay? So, if it costs, I'm going to hypothetically say it costs $20,000 a year to go to Faulkner, hypothetically. And you came in on that program in the 8th grade, right? So you was in 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. That's $20,000. Faulkner will reduce your $20,000 a year tuition by $5,000 a year over your 4-year period of time. That is the benefit. That is the number one benefit of being a part of the National Scouting Bureau program. Number one benefit. Not only do you have that opportunity with the scholarship, we also provide you with year-round homework assistance. There's 24/7 access to it. You can get on the phone, access to tutoring 24/7. You can get on the phone and figure out whatever the problem is you can't figure out. They'll help you figure it out. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. ACT prep. We have built-in ACT prep tools that are built into your virtual platform, okay? So you can get on those tools, use them at any time that you want to. Year-round, every year, this is there for you. We've also integrated a discounted ACT, SAT 101 prep class. Now, why am I harping about the academic side of this? You got to really understand something. At the end of the day, everybody's not going to get an athletic scholarship. So let's just point it out there. Let's call a spade a spade. Some kids are going to get academic scholarships. Some kids are going to get arts scholarships, and some will get athletics, right? But at the end of the day, what does it take to get into a college? You got to have a ACT. My mic is going out again. Hold on. Can you hear me?
You're good now.
All right, good. Okay. So, again, what did you last hear? I don't know what's going on with the computer. It keeps cutting my mic off. ACT, good. All right. It gives you, everybody, in order to get into college, obviously you got to have an ACT score and a GPA. So what we're doing from a holistic standpoint is giving you and surrounding you and your son or your daughter, because we will be rolling this out for softball, we will be rolling this out for other sports down the line, so I just will highlight that. But what it does for your baseball or your softball child is it surrounds them with the tools to be successful, to help them be successful. So that's number one. Player development. Let's go in there. We have our regional prospect ID camps. Derek Hathcock says grade first D1 has 11.7 scholarships. Absolutely. And Darryl, thank you. He said he can still hear everything. Great. So I can't go back since Derek brought that up. D1 programs, and everybody seems to think they're going to go D1. All right. It's a great feeling and a great goal, but everybody's not going to go D1. But however, D1's only have 11.7 scholarships. That means over 27. They have to share those scholarships over 27 students, right? 27 players, and that means that even on a 35-man team, that's typically what a D1 program carries, 35 players. 27 players have to divvy up 11.7 scholarships. Okay? So ACT, and how do you cover the rest of that cost? I talked about this before. You got to have academic money to support it. Or mom and dad will have to come out of pocket a lot. And that's what we're trying to avoid. Helping your son or daughter become the best player that they can be on and off the field and academically, so that they could strive, that they could get those, whether it's the scholarship athletically or have academic support to go along with it. So now we're moving to player development. Every player that's a part of the platform, whenever we host a regional ID camp, a 2-day regional player development camp, whether it's our daily live trainings that we do online, whether you get 2 video analysis per month on the 1st and the 15th, where you upload your videos to me, Carl, Orv, Andrew, whoever is in the background behind us, Marvin, Derek, all these guys. And by the way, keep Derek in your prayers. I forgot to mention that earlier. We have some family issues as well. So guys, keep those people lifted up as we go through this. But you can send those videos in. Every event that we do, you get to come to. There's no extra charges to come to any of those events. As a member, as a monthly member, you get access to these things. There's no additional charges that go along with it. ID camps, where we do our speed, agility tests, our velocity tests, about 20 different tests that a kid goes through. All right, that's all done at these events. That doesn't charge you anything more. When we do those camps, where we're bringing you in for 2 days, and we're there working with you on the development side of this, it doesn't cost you anything more. Doesn't cost a dime more. You don't pay anything more to go to those events. All right? Those 2 video analysis that you get on the 1st and the 15th, you send them in 24 hours. I think it was 48 hours. We have it back to you. Doesn't cost you anything more. Let me say this. A regular video analysis from one of us is $50 or more by itself. So I just want to make sure I point that out. One video analysis typically, outside of this program, is $50 or more. All right? Let's go to the exposure side. We build your player profile pages and lockers, videos and your 60 times and all that stuff that we take during the ID camp. It goes into your locker. We do a bi-weekly NSB Scout Wire report where we send this out to all the colleges in the country. Here are our top 100. Here are our top 50 pitchers. Here are our top whatever it may be. That goes out to college coaches. We host our own showcases. We host our own tournaments. The NSB, the player rankings, I just talked about that. The podcast, we're going to get into once we bring on the college coaches. At the end of that, we're going to talk about our top 100. We're promoting you. There are college coaches that are listening to this right now. So we're going to be promoting. You get all of this built in. The opportunity to make the USA team pride, one of our regional or our national team. Those are the teams that we take down to Jupiter. You get the opportunity to make one of those just by being a member of this, just by participating in these events. Let's go to the managed recruitment support. All right, now this is a big one. It's a guide. We provide a guided step by step. We're holding your hand, literally, through the collegiate recruiting process. We got the college research and fit finder. We got, the ability to identify your target schools, your favorite schools. We got the ability to monitor the communications. You got access to the head coach and the staff information. All this is built into it. And as you know, we'll move on. The mental preparedness courses. Being mentally tough, especially talking about being a collegiate ball player, is a huge deal. Being mentally tough in life is a huge deal, right? So we've built in all of these courses that allow you, and parents, by the way, there's courses for the parents to help your child become mentally tough, right? We do the mental and physical assessment, Personality assessments are done. We get all this information. It's all built into it. Doesn't cost you anything more. Speed, agility, strength, and conditioning app. We give you an app that's going to personalize your personal speed, agility, strength, and conditioning program. It's going to tell you exactly what to do. Right now with the virus, nobody knows what to do. It's going to tell you what you can do at home. It's going to tie you into our national certified strength and conditioning coach. All that's going to be tied in. You get all that. Same package. Doesn't cost you anything more. Sports nutrition plan. That's built in. It'll come in and it'll do an assessment automatically in the app system that we've built out. And it tells you here's a pattern. It actually allows you to take and this is the crazy part, guy. I didn't realize this much technology really existed, but after it does the assessment on you, it'll help you and your parents develop a grocery list, a daily grocery list on what to purchase. Why are you calling me, Keith? I'm on the show. I'm live on the show. Yeah, I'm live. I'll call you back. Anyway, so it has all that built into it, the sports nutrition program. Just today, here's an additional feature that's not listed on this deal, right? Just today, I met with, and that's why I say I'm dressed up. I'm in my business casual attire, but I'm in business attire. All y'all that talked about my Easter suit. Anyway, I met with somebody today, virtually, of course, not in a physical meeting, through Zoom, where we're going to actually implement a financial literacy program into this for the players, teaching them how to manage money, how to manage their bank accounts, things of this nature, things that should have been, I think you should be getting these in school, but it doesn't happen that way. That's not on the agenda. But anyway, things that you should be getting all are built into this program now. I don't care what travel ball program you're in, you can be a member of this. So everybody wants to know, okay, this got to cost $2,000 a year or $1,000 a month. What is the cost? So everybody wants to know. What we did was, again, we built this out to be as affordable and inclusive as we possibly could get it. Affordable and inclusive as we possibly could get this. So, without further ado, this is the cost. $150 annual registration, $49.95 a month. Everything that we just talked about, everything that was covered is included in that package. So, that's kind of the layout. And so that you know, if you register before August the 30th, you maintain, this is the introductory price, by the way, the $49.95. If you register before August the 30th, you get to maintain that fee. Ooh, better late than never. Hey, fellas, what's up, Mitch? Good to see you, man. Yeah, $150 is the registration fee, $49.95 monthly. If you register before August the 30th, you maintain that fee for life. It doesn't go up. It won't change. The regular monthly price is supposed to be $99, so just making sure everybody understands that. But you're getting it for $49.95, 12-month agreement. The 4,000 tuition points are awarded on August 31st of each year. That's another reason you need to be in before August 31st, because I issue those points. I issue those points on the 31st. Okay, you need to be in by the 30th to get those points. The 31st is when we issue. So that's kind of the layout for that. Guys, your thoughts. Tell us, what you think. We worked on this for a while. We put it out there now. What do you think? I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to put you guys back on the screen and figure out how to get this off my screen. I'll be all right. There we go. Move you guys back over.
Some awesome benefits in there. I mean, forget the athlete, just the SAT and the homework prep. I know a lot of parents right now need help with homework.
True. You know what? I ain't thinking about that. All the homeschool stuff going on.
Yeah. A lot of these parents are struggling with this homework, so that alone is worth it to me. But and then $4,000 credit every year to get into college. That's huge.
Except,
now, let me ask you this: that could be combined with an athletic scholarship.
That can be combined with an athletic scholarship, absolutely. So you remember, it's dollar for dollar match. Basically, what that means is they cannot. The schools have elected not to charge you less than charge you more than $1 for that, right? So they're accepting a dollar for dollar match on the point, right? So if you have an athletic scholarship, but you have let's say the tuition is $10,000, hypothetically, make easy numbers. And you get a 25% baseball scholarship. Will you put a slide presentation together for us? Yes, I will put a slide presentation together for everybody. That way you can see it. I'm gonna break it down even further. That way you can see it in specifics, and then I have videos and other stuff. As a matter of fact, the benefits director will be coming on here in the next week or so to actually explain all the benefits that we're getting, that we're giving out completely, and do video and all this other stuff. So yes, that is coming. Good question, Daryl. So $10,000 is the tuition cost, right? You get a 25% baseball scholarship. Because again, 11.7 is the D1 version of it, right? You got to break that up. So you get a 25% scholarship. So that means you get $2,500. That means you owe $7,500 left, right? Well, let's say you were that 8-year-old and you stayed in the program for for 5 years, and you got $20,000. Well, they're going to take that $20,000, divide it up over the 4 years, and now they deduct another $5,000 off the remainder of the tuition. So yes, you can combine it, right?
For me, it's a no-brainer, guys. I mean, if I had a son right now, he would be into the program. The benefits are outstanding, and it really, you think about it, it's an investment into the kid's future. It's an investment into your future, and the amount of money that you're spending is not a lot compared to some of the stuff that's out there right now. Good. I just think this is outstanding. This is a great program.
And to add to that, Orv, I'm dead serious about their organizations out here that are charging $1,000, $2,000 for, hey Thomas, they're to come to an event. And my question to you at the end of the day, what do you get out of it? Let me back up and do it this way. All right. So when I started this deal, doing showcases and events and things that I've done over the years, right? When I started this, here's the one factor that I'm going to point out, right? 90% of the kids, out of the 100% of the kids that came to an event, 10% of them were recruitable. Okay? 10% of them were ready to sign, or based on their skills and ability and their academics, were ready to sign a scholarship if offered. 10%. That means 90% of the players weren't. Yet, at that event alone, because my event, just to be honest, I was like everybody else. It was $250 to go. Right? $250 to come to this event. $199, $250 typically was the rate. And at the end of the day, I was giving them kind of reports and data and information to go back and things they needed to work on. It was there. I did that, right? I did it. But they're not getting all of this at other places. So when you go out right now and you spend $2,000 and you're still in that 90%, but nobody's telling you what you need to work on, what we do is a no-brainer. You get to come to all of our events in your region. Take that back. Let's say it this way. If you were in New York City and you decided you wanted to come to one of the regional events we were doing in Alabama, you got the right to come. Let me say it like that. I'm looking over there again because I keep looking at y'all, but I forget the screen right here. You can come. You can come. Doesn't matter.
That's what's special about this whole thing is that anyone that and that when you start the program, you may not be a candidate for a college scholarship or a pro ball contract, but in a year or two, that all can change, as we all know.
Right, exactly. We got some comments here. Daryl says my grandson Maddox is here watching and said hi and wants to join when he becomes 8. Daryl, we don't have a limit on it. If he's 7, he can join. I'm dead serious. If he's 7, he can join. Because really, at your age, you're doing it for the scholarship. You get the other benefits, but you're doing it for the scholarship. So at that age, yes, he can do it.
So that was my question. Because you said 8th grade.
I was saying 8th grade in the fact that, I was just using it as an example. So for instance,
I know, but I'm asking, can they join before the 8th grade?
Oh yes, they can join as a 7-year-old. There's no stipulations on what the program is allowed for. Our objective is to bring you in as early as we can get you, because the earlier we can get you, we can surround you with the right information. Now, I'm not saying you got to train and you got to do everything our older guys are going to do, but you still, at the end of the day, you still get the scholarship.
Well, like I said, the homework stuff is worth it to me. Just the SHT, the prep, and all that stuff, and all the mental stuff. Forget the baseball, all that stuff.
Yeah. I got questions coming in. Here we go. Let me have to swap to this particular section here. I had 2 comments from there, so let's see what they say. History. There we go. First comment was the first question. It's not acting right. All right, here we go. Let's try it again. I will come back to the question. Something's not working right on there. I know the first one was, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll come back to the questions. Let me, while I'm doing this, you guys continue talking. I'm going to reboot this program.
With the virus thing going on right now, to me, this program has so many benefits. Just like we mentioned a little bit earlier, not being able to get out and do what you normally are able to do, but all of the benefits with the mental, the academic stuff, the nutrition stuff. It's huge. And the thing is, you try to get them into some sort of a plan and a program and some sort of structure in their life when they're young. Hopefully that just kind of projects into the future.
I look at it like this, and you make a very great point. Or the more information that I have, the earlier I have it, the better decisions I can make in the future, for the future.
Yep.
So that's kind of why I set out to do this. Again, change the modality. Voicemails, text. Okay, here we go. All right. It's again, the first question was, what age group is this for? I believe we're able to go down as far as 7 years old, 5, 6, 7 years old. I'll look to confirm, but I know 7, 8, 9, and above. But I'm pretty sure we can, if somebody wants to do it for their kid, they still can do it at 6 years old. So that I do believe that. 2020 kids, it's too late. You had to have been in. Actually, let me make sure we understand this too. 2021s until last Saturday weren't allowed to be a part of it. So a 2021 kid, as of last Saturday, can now be a part of the program. So that means that kid will get for the 2021, as a 2020 to 2021, he could get it. If he's graduating to 21, he can still qualify for the scholarship. So he would get $4,000. Right. That's to one of the private end. Here we go. How do I feel about the drive line training? That's a good question. Personally, I use Driveline. I use it. I use several aspects of it. Some parts I don't because of certain other things that we do. For our position players, we use it religiously. For our pitchers, yes, we do use it, but we also move into more of a command versus control.
Muted.
Again, I'm muted, huh?
You're right. You're good now.
I don't know why I
You're
keep doing that. I'm going to reboot this computer. There's got to be something with it. Regarding Driveline, we use it a lot. We use several aspects of it. Some parts we don't. I kind of tend to stay away from. But for the most part, yes, we use it. Pitchers, we use it to an extent, and then we move more into being more fine-tuned pitchers, command versus control. That's kind of the area we go with that on there. Let's see. I think that was it, right? Those are the other questions. Other comments, other thoughts, guys. I'm trying to juggle 5 things over here right now. Andrew, your thoughts?
No, I think the best part about it is being able to go to a showcase and actually being told what you need to work on. I'm not sure how many of these showcases, actually are doing that. To me, it seemed like a lot of them you go to and you're just getting graded out and ranked, and no one's telling you, hey, you should maybe focus on this or focus on that. I mean, a lot of kids, just little simple things, maybe need a position change to make themselves look more attractive. You know what I'm saying? Kids out there, he thinking he's a shortstop. The family thinks, the dad keeps thinking they're a shortstop, and me and Carl seen this forever when we were at the Urban Youth Academy.
My son's a shortstop.
Trying to help kids. Everybody think they're a shortstop, and they have a better chance and show a lot better if they just move over to second or move over to third or move to center field.
Right.
Or move the catcher.
Right, or move the catcher. I seen one this year where a kid had this kid. Most of the summer, people were looking at him as a pitcher, and he showed some type of promise as a pitcher. Athletic. He just didn't have he didn't have the velo yet or whatnot. And went out to see another player on his team was expecting him to be pitching too, and got the word that, oh no, he doesn't want to pitch. He wants to play center field, so he's not pitching for us this year. Like, what? So, stuff like that, just being told like, hey, I think your future is on the mound, and this is why.
Now, since you say that, or vice versa, right? So I don't mean to cut you off, but since you say that, I think it should be noted that the individuals that are doing the evaluations are pro scouts. So I think people need to understand exactly what you just said. So when that recommendation comes and says, hey, I don't think you are a shortstop. I think your opportunity is on the mound. Then it has more credibility behind it. So it's not just us making up stuff. There are people that are behind the scenes that are doing the evaluations that are giving this information out. So I don't think that's really hadn't been done by anybody. And I think that's one of the major benefits of being part of this is, you get that type of information. We don't use the stopwatches. I'm not knocking them, but we don't use the stopwatches. We got laser times when we run the camps. A scout can still go out there. I'm not saying he can't use the stopwatch, but we operate off laser times. Why do we operate off the laser time? Because this second you move to the second you get there, and what we try to do from a training standpoint, and there's another side of this from a training standpoint, is we're teaching you how to correct that first movement to cut down on that speed, which cuts down on home to first, right? A 2 inches is the difference between, or an inch is the difference between being safe or out. If we can help you cut down on that, then we've done our job. So we built this out to be holistic. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And 0.1 second off your time.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference between your prospect status. Just that little amount of time consistently. 0.1
And
or
Andrew,
0.05.
Andrew, do me a favor. Who are you again now?
The West Coast supervisor for the Mets.
Say that one more time so everybody can hear that.
The West Coast supervisor for the Mets.
Or what did you do for a living, Or?
I did it all, pretty much all in the pro game. I was a field manager, hitting coordinator, catching coordinator, hitting coach. Just about everything in the game through BP every day. I mean, I love the game.
You love the game.
Still have a passion for it.
Carl, who did you who are some of the kids you trained?
Let's see, Aaron Hicks.
Where does Aaron play it right now?
He's coming back from surgery, but he's center fielder for the New York Mets. Just signed us. What was it, 10 years, Drew? 70 million? Yankees, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Yankees. For the Yankees.
That's A.P. Crawford, Mariners, Anthony Ghost. Who else? Coached against Bryce Harper, Mike Trout. I saw all those guys in high school. But just going with what Drew just said, there's a guy and Drew knows him. We both coached him. It was a kid that I saw him I told his dad when he was in the 8th grade, I said, your son could be one of the best catchers in Southern California. And he did not want to switch positions. Kept playing shortstop throughout high school. Got drafted. Went to the pro game. First year, they switched him to second base. Mm-hmm. After that, next year, they switched him to catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he ended up blowing out his arm and he's out of the game. But if he had gone as a catcher like I told him, he would have got drafted higher than where he got drafted originally. And he would still be in the game and probably would have been in the big leagues because he was a monster behind the plate, but his dad wanted him to be a shortstop. And Drew knows exactly what I'm talking about. But like you just said, they wouldn't listen.
So my point in bringing all this up is, and to the audience, okay, we didn't assemble just anybody, okay. I didn't. When the good Lord bestowed this vision upon me, it wasn't to bring just any Tom, Dick, and Harry in to give out information that's going to be inaccurate and hurt you. What we brought together was individuals who have been, and there's three more guys out here that are not on tonight, but which is fine. But we brought these individuals to give you true, honest, and relevant information. Daryl says $70 million difference. That's true. So again, we can go back over the benefits again. Can give you just an overall view of it one more time. It takes a minute to pull up, but matter of fact, instead of me trying to pull it up again because it causes so much confusion on the screen, well, there you go. It popped up. Let me just make it bigger where everybody can see it. That ain't what I tried to do.
But the educational part, and which enough people don't get to see. There's a couple more kids that Drew and I coached. Okay, and they were okay players. They weren't really great or anything, but they were really focused on their education, right?
Right.
So right now, one of those kids is, I don't know what his title is, but he works for the Dodgers, and he's a head of something down in the Dominican Republic. You know what I'm talking about, Drew?
Yeah, Chase.
Right? Hassan Smith. He works for the Dodgers, and Chase works for the Dodgers as well. Now, both of these guys weren't great baseball players, but they were really focused on their education. They just used baseball as a tool. One went to Harvard, the other one went to Columbia, I think.
Private schools, right?
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Highly academic.
I believe private schools. Let's make sure we're right about that. All right.
Yeah. But
the same schools, some of the same schools that accept the tuition credit. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. My fault.
The point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of guys right now that are getting jobs in baseball, and they're staying in the game longer than the players are.
Yeah.
Just by getting their education. And what a lot of people aren't realizing is, well, maybe they do realize it, but the John Young used to call them pencil necks. The smart guys are taking over baseball.
Yeah.
So they're looking for guys with those Harvard and Columbia educations. Now, if you go to Harvard and you go to Columbia or any of these schools, you get that piece of paper along with you played as well. You're almost guaranteed to get a job somewhere in baseball if you want it.
Right.
So that's why this stuff here is to me, it's gold. Forget the guys that are getting drafted. The guys that aren't going to get drafted, this is going to benefit the most.
True. That's a good point.
In my opinion. And like I said, because you can still get into pro ball or any sport, not just baseball, but any sport. There's a whole lot of jobs out there that are looking for guys who are athletes who also have the smarts to coding and statistics and whatever else they do in baseball now.
Right. So.
And then if you have a kid that's struggling, you need to pay double and get into this program. They're struggling academically.
Right. So again,
I'm joking.
I know, I understand, but again, guys, here's just an overview again. The academic support piece with the $4,000 guaranteed college scholarship annually, ACT prep, homework tutorial tools, 24/7 access, ACT 101, a discount with one of the best programs in the nation, and it's constantly growing. They're seeing kids go from 18s to 27s and 28s with the training and everything that they do with them. It's a great program. You get a discount to that. Player development side, attend all of our events. Our 2-day regional, our ID camps where we are testing. We're going through all the various tests that we do in order to build your player profile page. The skills evaluation, which is done by 3 scouts, professional scouts. That's their job to come in and do the evaluations after the video footage and everything that we collect. All that stuff goes into your player profile page. The 2-day regional development camp where we're now working with you to help you work on your skills. We do those regionally. We'll do those 2-3 times a year in every region. That's what we'll be doing. I mean, that's what it's for. You get 2 video analysis per month. On the 1st and the 15th, you send it in, whether it's hitting, whether it's pitching. You send it in, it gets evaluated and sent back to you. The exposure events, the player profile pages and the lockers that we build out for you that you get, the showcases that we do, the NSB tournaments that we do, the website and the ranking system that we build out, the top 100. And again, guys, everything is built in an algorithm. So it ain't just because I say I like Tommy over here that he gets to be the number one. It doesn't work that way for us. It's the algorithm that does everything. He gets evaluated, and if Tommy is better than the number one person, show it on the field. That's how it works. The WePlayBaseball Podcast. What we're doing right now, we talk about what we do on the show. After we bring college coaches on, we talk. We talk you up. Bottom line. How many kids do you need to come to an area to do a full program? That's a good question. We do believe, there, so that you know, we do believe that because of the pricing and we're getting this thing so low that we will be able to bring on a multitude of kids immediately and begin to do those showcases. So it really doesn't matter for us at that point. Once we hit our threshold, which is our threshold is to get the numbers up now, right? And then after COVID is over and they say we can go back to work and we can literally get out, then we're going back to doing what we do on the field, showcases, things of that nature. Sanitized, by the way. We do it in a healthy manner, but we're getting back. We'll get back to doing what we do then. So those numbers, over this COVID virus, we think we're going to grow up pretty quickly here. And we'll get a multitude of kids on. And they get access to all these benefits. So that's why we're saying that 30th date is that real cut line to get kids in, because on the 31st, I have to issue the scholarship points. Go ahead.
No, a kid doesn't necessarily have to play for us to benefit from
that's a great question. That's a great thing. We're not. All right, so we're a support system of current travel ball, current high school programs. That's what we do. We support. We're here to now provide you support. We don't run a travel ball team. Let me make sure that's stood. We don't run a travel ball team.
Not yet.
Well, I doubt if we get a chance to because we're going to be too busy. We will put a National Scouting Bureau team together for Jupiter.
Right.
And that's based on our membership base. Those kids that get to come to that will be invited to that are going through the showcase side of it, and then those are the kids that we take to Jupiter. So, good point. We're not running a travel ball program. That's not our objective right now. So that's a good point. But the exposure piece, and that's what they're talking about, the USA Team Pride. That's that piece at the end down at the bottom. So that's the deal that we're doing for whatever big tournament that we deem necessary to go to. We can invite those players if they want to participate. It's not mandatory. If you want to go, you go. Those are pretty much all expense paid for with those, by the way. So when we invite you, it's kind of you're not paying to go. That'll be on us. So just so you do know that. Next slide is if I can get it to go. All right, there we go. The managed recruitment support. I am personally, and others are in the program, are personally walking kids through the recruiting process. The system is designed to walk you through the process. It literally is. And I'm talking about there are things that I'm going to do on your behalf, right? Where I'm going to pick up the phone, or I'm going to send an email to a coach, or I'm going to send video footage out, and we're going to send the Scouting Bureau's NSB Scoutwire report out. But there are things that you have to do also, such as formalize an email the coaches saying, hey, coach, I'm interested in your program. Things of that nature. It's guidelines and things that a checklist that we go through to make sure you also are doing your part. But it's a step-by-step guided process. The mental preparedness, coaches are now, I'm just telling you, coaches are now really vetting players when they're bringing them in. That's why one of the reasons we do the personality test, to see the personality assessment, rather, to see if you even fit the mold of that school. I mean, if you're even going to be a good fit for that. So we do that. The speed, agility, strength and conditioning, that app is on there, NSCA certified strength and conditioning coaches, telling you, working with you, telling you what to do. Ooh, knocking on my stuff. Is that y'all? Oh, knocking on my window. Anyway, the sports nutrition plan. Players are, to implement this. It's a disciplined approach to hydration. Diet, I know I see some typos, but anyway. Diet, supplementation, dietary assessments. All that stuff is done. I'll fix all that later. This is not coming out. I was just showing y'all this stuff tonight. It wasn't supposed to be already ready for the website, stuff like that now. So don't get it twisted. I make mistakes too. I'm human. So here's again, the $150 registration fee gets you set at $49.95 a month. That's the deal. That it is. It's going to be that way until August the 30th. Yep, on the 31st. Yeah. On the 31st, it goes back to the regular $99 fee. So, that's everything included. Any more thoughts? It's been a 2-hour show.
Yep, sounds good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you have any questions, I'm going to see if I can minimize this again, put us back up there. There we go.
You're starting to get a little pretty techie.
Oh, hey, I'm trying, man.
Handling it.
Yeah, hey, every day I learn something new with this thing, man. I spend so much time fooling with this thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting pretty good. I'm getting pretty good. See, watch this. Watch this. I can swap slides like there go Jackie again. Y'all see Jackie? Well, y'all can't see it because y'all not up, but they can see Jackie right now. I'm getting pretty good. Hey, Derek said I would spread the word. Absolutely, Derek. I'll be in touch with you anyway. Also, back to us here. So now we're back up. Man, I can manipulate this. Boy, I've been working this thing. I'm getting good at it. Someday I may run my own show. Oh, but anyway, guys, that is the layout for the National Scouting Bureau's Pipeline membership platform. That's all it in a nutshell. I think they're getting a lot. I think they really are. I think it's done in a way that it's affordable, and kids that would normally be left out now have an opportunity to be a part of it. So that's just my thoughts on it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, even after the show, if you got questions, I'll give you this window one more time. You can text your questions to 334-249-2290 or tweet us at WePlayBaseball, and I can respond to those once we get off the air. But if you have questions or if need any more information about it, 334-249-2290 or tweet us at WePlayBaseball. By the way, this goes live. Registration goes live Saturday at noon, 12 noon. Is when we can start accepting the registration. So make sure everybody understands that registration is not open today. We're giving it time. I'm going to talk about it again tomorrow. Andrew, tomorrow also we're going to it's your day. So we're going to talk about the scouting side of this thing from the Major League side and what it is that you look for. So let's go ahead and talk about that tomorrow. Then I'll talk about this again. And we'll continue to talk about this until we get it out there and people get to hear it and they get to understand it. And our marketing team and the guys in the background, we've hired some new guys. Keith Stubbs has come on as our vice president who's over operations. So he's making sure that things are getting happen. We're bringing in a gentleman by the name of Bob Jones, who we have finished talking with tonight. And he's bringing on the kind of infrastructure of how to really deliver it out to the public, so that way everybody gets an opportunity to get it. So that's kind of what we're doing, guys. So I'll let you guys have the last word. Carl, you started off, and we'll finish with Andrew.
Yeah, great show. Like I said, lots of benefits from that. I don't know what it's called, but lots of benefits from it, and everybody needs to jump on it. That's it.
Or?
Yeah, I mean that the most important thing, I know that you're on top of this, Rod, but is as much information and as exposure and information as we can get out.
Yeah,
that's huge, because I know tons of athletes that would be all over this.
Right.
And I'm going to try to spread the word too with the kids that I know.
Right. And that's the other thing we do. We got it on our end. So, I mean, I'm just talking about this. We'll talk about this. I should talk about this off air. Matter of fact, we'll talk about that off air. I want you to say that right now. But Andrew, you go.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to get some good things from a lot of different angles. You get to be evaluated. You get training. You get an education piece. I mean, it's just encompasses everything you would need as an athlete, that's moving on and has aspirations to be a college student athlete, So this is something, a huge opportunity and for a low cost.
Last thing on this, guys, I forgot to mention this. This is very important. If let's say you got $20,000 in scholarship money, right? And you get drafted, or you decide you're going to the military, or you decide, hey, I don't want to go to college, I'm going to start my plumbing company or whatever, right? You can gift it to a family member. You don't lose it.
Oh, wow.
I forgot to mention that. So you don't lose the money. So if you hold off for 20 years and you had your kid and he's ready to go to college after that point, right? He can use it. Or you can gift it to your sister.
Or maybe mom and dad can go back to college.
Mom and dad can go back. The kid, he makes the decision. He makes a decision. He gifts it. There it is. So I wanted to make sure that was out there because I did forget to mention that. So if you're part of the program, You do not lose the points. So, based on whatever you decide in life to do, you don't lose it. So you can transfer it to someone else. So, anyway, guys, that great show. A lot of great information. Happy Jackie Robinson Day to everybody. I'll show that screen one more time. This is the man that paved the way for us all to be part of this and to get to where we are at this point. Salute you, sir. And back to our normal lives, guys. Been a good show. Appreciate you guys. Again, we thank you for tuning in to the We Play Baseball Podcast. Again, we'll be back on tomorrow night at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and I believe that would be 4 o'clock Pacific Time. I got that right there. So we'll be back on tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you and talking again. And Andrew is our guest tomorrow. He will be on talking about the scouting, the professional scouting side of things, and give you information about things he think you need to be aware of, and we can go from there. And Andrew, we look forward to that tomorrow as well. All right, guys, y'all have a great night, great show. Really appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
You too. Good one.
Thank you, sir. Oh, shit.